We begin tonight on this historic day here in the nation's capital. For the first time in the history of American democracy and the first Congress of 1789, the Speaker of the House has been removed from his position as the leader of the chamber. By a vote of 216 to 210, lawmakers booted Speaker Kevin McCarthy, throwing the House into chaos and into unprecedented territory. McCarthy seen here walking away from the chamber in bitter defeat after facing an uprising from the far-right faction of his own party. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, a longtime critic and thorn in the side of McCarthy, led the revolt after the now former speaker worked with Democrats on a funding bill to avoid a government shutdown. Only 8 Republicans voted to vacate the chair, but 208 Democrats refused to come to McCarthy's rescue and save his speakership. We've got a lot of news to bring you tonight, and CBS's Scott MacFarlane will start us off from Capitol Hill. What a day. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Nora. Kevin McCarthy's speakership lasted 9 months, with critics inside his own party threatening to move on him throughout. Today, they made their move and left half of the U.S. Congress in a state of uncertainty. For the first time in its history, the U.S. House stripped its Speaker of his job.
The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
Kevin McCarthy's rocky leadership of one of the most narrow majorities ever in the House of Representatives, which he earned only after a marathon 15-round drama in January, ended with a dramatic flourish as 8 Republicans joined all House Democrats to remove him.
Chaos is Speaker McCarthy. Chaos is somebody who we cannot trust with their word.
Florida Republican Matt Gaetz led the challenge, citing complaints about McCarthy's deal with President Biden to avert a debt ceiling crisis in May and the 11th hour deal to avert a government shutdown Saturday, in which McCarthy secured more support among Democrats than Republicans.
There's nothing selfish about wanting a Speaker of the House who tells the truth.
For now, the House turns to a temporary Speaker, North Carolina Republican Patrick McHenry, until a formal vote occurs to choose a new Speaker.
Keeping government open and paying our troops was the right decision. I stand by that decision. At the end of the day, if I have to lose my job over it, so be it.
Many Republicans who back McCarthy worried the party infighting will hurt them in next year's elections.
And I think it's sending a terrible signal to the electorate in advance of the 24 election that this Republican majority cannot govern itself, and we need to change that.
McCarthy had hoped some Democrats would vote to save him, but they decided to back his removal after watching video this morning in a private meeting of McCarthy on Sunday's Face the Nation, blaming Democrats after they helped him avert a shutdown.
I wasn't sure it was going to pass. You want to know why? Because the Democrats tried to do everything they can not to let it pass.
Democrats saved the day, and he goes on TV hours later and says, Republicans did it. Republicans were leading, which is insane.
For now, the U.S. House is in a state of political paralysis. Nora, the doors are locked, the lights are off indefinitely.
You know, Scott, the million-dollar question is, what happens now?
There will have to be a vote to elect a new Speaker. That vote, though, isn't happening anytime soon. As the evening began, Republicans were having a closed-door meeting, which really is the fundamental issue. For 9 months, there's been no clear Plan B. Even 2 of the defectors told me they don't have a name to offer. Kevin McCarthy could run again, but as was shown today, Nora, he may not have the votes.